So let's talk about Blue Apron. It's a meal kit delivery service kinda like HelloFresh, but they do things a little bit differently. So they're all about offering recipes that are really good for you and super easy to make. And today, all we're gonna be doing is talking about some of the meals that they offer. Now, I have to say that we had a really good time trying it out and the food was really good, but not everything was great. Like, they didn't have wild-caught salmon, for example, and I could taste the difference. And there weren't many vegetarian or vegan choices for my wife either. So in this video, I'm going to be telling you all about our experience with Blue Apron. I'll talk about how the food tastes, how easy or hard it was to make the meals, what it costs, and the pros and cons as well. That way you can decide if Blue Apron is something that you might want to check out. And if you're thinking about trying Blue Apron, you can check out the affiliate link that's down in the description for a discount that you wouldn't get if you went right to their website. Now, this is what we chose to do with Blue Apron. So I basically ordered a variety of meals covering everything from breakfast and signature dishes to wellness meals, a dessert, and even some pre-cooked meals for quick heating. So I wanted to see how these different types of meals tasted to figure out if some categories were better than others. And what I found out was that almost everything tasted really good. The only item that I really didn't like was the cornmeal upside down cake, but I'll talk about that later on. So how did each meal taste? Well, the first recipe we tried was the lemon caper salmon and orzo with zucchini and bell peppers, and it was really tasty. The flavors were pretty spot on. It was nicely balanced, making for a really enjoyable dish. My wife and I both really liked it, and it quickly became one of our favorite meals that we order pretty much every other week. So moving on to the next meal, we had gnocchi mac and cheese with spinach and mushrooms and breadcrumbs. And I gotta say also that this one was a hit with both of us. The texture was perfectly crispy, and the combination of flavors was something kind of special. Even for someone who's usually not a big fan of mushrooms, the dish was a winner and definitely on the list for repeat meals as well. Now, my favorite dish was definitely the seared steaks and caper aioli. It's actually one of their standout dishes if you ask me. The steak had a fantastic texture and flavor, and this is coming from somebody who calls himself a devout carnivore. It was cooked to just the right degree of medium rare, which is what we like. A big highlight for us also was the caper aioli, which added a great kind of twist to the dish. It complemented the roasted potatoes and kale really beautifully, making the whole meal really memorable. The steak was almost as good as the steak that my wife and I had when we went out on New Year's Eve. Okay, so the one dessert that we tried was the cornmeal upside down cake with raisins, figs, and walnuts. It was alright, but to be honest, it didn't quite match up to something that you'd pick from a good bakery. This was the only recipe where the taste just didn't seem to justify the time and effort that we put into making it. And then we tried the Arugula Salad with garlic croutons and lemon dressing. And while it didn't stand out as much as some of the other dishes, it was still pretty tasty. It's definitely something I'd enjoy having again, but I'm not going to be ordering on a regular basis. And we also tried the Miso-Ginger Chicken with sesame rice and roasted broccoli. And it was a total win. The flavors were spot on, with the miso and ginger providing just the right kind of balance of flavor without being too strong. The balance of the ingredients was great, and each bite had a bit of everything, which made for a really satisfying meal. And as for the pizza, we chose the 3-cheese pizza, and it was a pleasant surprise. It's definitely a step up from those gourmet frozen pizzas that you'd find at grocery stores, though it's not quite on par with the really good pizzeria, of course. But you know what? It was a lot of fun for my wife and I to actually make the pizza at home by ourselves. We made it sort of a pizza date night, so that was really nice. And we both thought it tasted great, so I can definitely see us picking this up again for those nights when we're just not in the mood to make something so complicated and we just want to have a pizza night. Okay, and when it comes to breakfast, we went with the homemade granola bowls with Greek yogurt and blueberries. These were really good and super quick to assemble. The combination of the creamy Greek yogurt with the fresh blueberries, crunchy granola created a really tasty and refreshing way to start our days. So it's definitely a dish we enjoy having on a regular basis for breakfast as well. Okay, so we also tried a couple of Blue Apron's pre-cooked microwavable meals, and I have to say that they were pretty good. It's definitely better than what you get from the freezer at a fancy grocery store. Now, they weren't quite on the same level as Factor 75's meals in terms of flavor, but that's expected since Factor specializes in pre-cooked meals. Blue Apron, on the other hand, is more about top quality meal kits. Still, I found them quite comparable to Factor, which is saying something. And to be honest, I'm really happy that the heat and eat options are good because they are the perfect option when I'm short on time or just feeling too lazy to cook. cook. Now, I noticed that Blue Apron's recipes always have 1 or 2 ingredients that make you say, wow, that was really good. So that's a standout feature for me. However, their recipes do have a few more ingredients and steps compared to a lot of the other meal kits out there. But listen, I think it's really worth it, especially because you're eating really delicious food that's healthier than a lot of restaurant meals, and it kind of boosted my cooking game. Okay, so how much does it cost and what are the different plans? So for their standard meals, you're looking at somewhere between $8 and $12.50 per serving, and it works out like most meal delivery services. The more servings you order, the less it costs per serving. For instance, if you add in the shipping, which is $11 per shipment, the highest you'll pay per serving is about $15 for 2 meals with 2 servings each, while the cheapest is around $8.50 per serving for 5 meals with 4 servings each. Now, when it comes to the premium recipes, these cost a bit more, anywhere between $14 and $20 per serving, and that's because these dishes tend to have fancier ingredients and are more about teaching advanced level cooking skills. But the good part about Blue Apron is that they offer lots of meat and seafood options without that extra premium cost, so you're getting solid value for your money here. And just to reiterate, if you're thinking about trying Blue Apron, you can check out the affiliate link that's down in the description for a discount that you wouldn't be able to get if you go straight to their website. Okay, so after trying Blue Apron, would I recommend it? The answer is definitely. And that's because Blue Apron isn't just about delivering meals. It actually offers an entire culinary journey, let's call it. So you get to enhance your cooking skills, experiment with new tastes, and the best thing of all is that you won't have to go through the hassle of finding recipes, meal planning, or shopping for groceries, which we all hate, or at least most of us do, or at the very least I do. Now, what really makes Blue Apron shine, in my opinion, is their commitment to high quality organic ingredients. The recipes are really straightforward and ideal for beginners generally, but the final dishes are pretty flavorful and they feel sometimes that they're restaurant quality, which is really, really nice for a meal kit. Blue Apron has also recently added a lot more items to their list, whether you're into adventurous, exotic dishes or looking for something simple and family friendly. They generally will have you covered. They've even got these tasty ready-to-eat options for those extra busy days like I spoke about, which aren't quite on par with Factor 75, but are actually pretty good as well. So as you can see, it's not just about the food tasting great, which it generally does. It's about how each meal leaves us feeling satisfied and healthy. So whether you've never tried a meal kit service before, or you've been through a few and haven't found the right one, I'd say Blue Apron is definitely worth giving a try. It honestly is one of those rare finds that has truly enhanced our dining at home and also given my wife and I something to do for a date night. And if you do decide to try it, I'm looking forward to hearing about your experience. And if you have any questions, you can drop them in the comments down below and I'll answer them as soon as I can. Now, if you're thinking about trying Blue Apron, you can check out the affiliate link that's down in the description for the deal that you wouldn't be able to get if you go straight to their website like I mentioned. And finally, guys, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next video.